Ah, see, that's good. That's good. Nice, massive hyperbole. That'll really get the algorithm doing the numbers. Oh! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't hear you come in. I'm your host, Fontaman, and welcome back to another video. Fresh off my 27-hour continuous deployment on Tien Quan, so we can get those mechs as fast as possible.
Send in everyone.
Which one?
Everyone!
You're welcome! I'm currently working on a guide video for mechs in the background, but I'm gonna wait until the patch on the 14th, just in case it changes, adds, or fixes anything. Wouldn't want it to be out of date almost immediately, right? So, in the meantime, I figure I make this video to kind of condense and make more concise my points that I made in the Every Difficulty Matters video, because some people are distressingly bad at putting this together. So we're gonna be very simple and get right to this. As is the case with most video games, Helldivers 2 has difficulty settings that make the missions easy or hard. The easy missions do not take much effort to complete and can be completed very quickly. However, as you go up in difficulty, your rewards also go up. So while the harder difficulties take more effort and take longer to complete than the easier ones, the rewards you get out of those missions in terms of samples, XP, and requisition make for more efficient progress as you're trying to level and upgrade. And, predictably, most people jump to immediately assume harder gooder. And no, not at everything. This is because greater than your short-term personal rewards, we also have to think about the Galactic War, which is desirable to think about because we just had an event where everyone dogpiled a planet and we unlocked giant robots in 26 hours, and they're super goddamn cool. And in respect to the Galactic War, difficulty does not matter. Every mission will only add 1 point. No matter how many missions there are in an operation, no matter how high the difficulty is, they will only ever add 1 point to make the bar go up. Furthermore, it actually doesn't take too long at all to reach level cap and be capped out on resources, so playing on harder difficulties will very quickly give you absolutely nothing. You're basically just playing up there because you want to after a certain point, and that's actually fine, but I'll get to that in a moment. So, while harder difficulties do give you more short-term rewards, and they are the best at that, they are not the best at everything. Have I made the point clear? Good? Okay, moving on. Now, if your focus is instead the Galactic War and helping the community take planets for more rewards, like those giant robots, your objectives change. Since difficulty does not matter and each mission only adds 1 point, your objective becomes to play as many missions as possible, as fast as possible. Objectively speaking, this is how we make the bar go up. And since harder missions take longer to complete, they're actually more inefficient at making the bar go up. And the most efficient way of making the bar go up is actually speedrunning missions on Trivial, since it's just a race to get to the mission complete screen. Most people would not see this as fun to do, and boy, after doing it for 26 hours, yeah, I can tell you it's not the most amazing thing in the world, even if it got us to mechs faster. But objectively speaking, if you want to make the bar go up, you play on the lowest difficulties. So in this situation, the hardest difficulties are good at something, and the lowest difficulties are good at something, and they are both very valuable. However, remember when I said it was totally fine for you to play on the hardest difficulties just because you wanted to? That is because there is a third way. One that stands as a middle ground and a perfectly stable middle ground between the two extremes of just do the missions faster or get the most rewards. If you play on the difficulty that you find the most entertaining, you will be having the most fun. And if you are having the most fun, you will play the game for longer. And if you play the game for longer, you'll get as many rewards as you want, and you will also contribute noticeably towards the Galactic War. Nirvana exists. The middle way is playing long opposed to the other two short-term mindsets, getting as much Galactic War progress as possible, and getting as many rewards as possible. Both of them are focused on doing it as fast as possible. The middle way just says, well, I'll get there eventually, I'll just have to play for longer. But if you're having more fun, you can play for longer, and it doesn't feel like a chore or work. So if you only want to play on Helldive because you find it the most entertaining, well, I'd remind you that you could turn the difficulty down anytime you want there, Masochist. You don't always have to play the ball flattening simulator. But if you play that for like 12 hours, you're doing your part. And I'm not gonna stop you, and nobody should. Because while you may be capped out on rewards and making less efficient progress in the Galactic War than the guy playing on Trivial, you'd be bored out of your skull if we forced you to do that. You wouldn't last an hour. So if we, the community, want you to help as much as you can, we gotta let you do your thing. That's fine. But this doesn't at any point give you the grounds to tell other people what they should be playing. Because factually speaking, if there's a level 50 out there in the same situation as you, and he likes playing on like challenging, and he plays the same or more games than you, he's doing just as good as you. You can't argue with him. He is doing his part, you're doing your part, you're both equal. You can argue on matters of taste, but you shouldn't be trying to rule over the entire player base over matters of taste. This is why I am personally extremely against the idea of them adding more liberation progress for higher difficulty missions, because all it's gonna do is foster elitism, and that is bad civilization. No, get that shit out of here. We already have people trying to tell people how to play the game when it's very clear that they don't even really know how to play the game. That's just gonna get worse. And there are more productive ways of enhancing the current situation that we have without shattering the beautiful and fragile balance that we currently have. And I was trying to make this video concise, so I'm not gonna go on a ramble about all the ideas that I potentially have for that. But for everyone else, you must think in a way that makes both ends of the difficulty spectrum valuable in some way. This means that anybody can play whatever difficulty they want and have fun and contribute something of value, even if it's not at the same difficulty level as you. Because at the end of the day, the objective is really for everyone to enjoy the game they bought. Remember that? It's kind of easy to miss that these days, but no, it's fun. Fun is the objective. And in order for there to be fun, the meta must continue to be freedom.